Right. Sorry. Okay, let's get this right. Welcome to the Quick Stop F1 podcast. My name is... Fuck all that shit! Don't piss me off! We went away! I saw the messages. They said, where are you? Where are you?
We said, people alive. Hoping everyone's good.
Oh, man. How have we timed it this well? It is unbelievable, but welcome to the Quick Stop F1 podcast. My name is Tasha. You could have been absolutely anywhere in the world, but we're so grateful that you're here with us today. And joining me, as ever, is my co-founder and co-host. She is not only the most moisturized F1 content creator in the world, but she's also the most thrifty. She's wearing...
Come on now.
She's wearing a Liverpool top right now that is older than some of you are, full stop. She got that shit on the second-hand market for a price you wouldn't believe.
Second-hand market.
It is none other than Tandy Sabanda. Tandy, how is it going? Cheering.
It's going well. It's doing beautiful. Mwah, mwah, mwah. I missed you guys. I missed the pod. I missed having freaking technical glitches and forgetting my earphones. What a beautiful time to be alive.
What a beautiful time to be alive. Honestly, it's crazy. It's crazy. 2 weeks ago, we sent out a message like, guys, we are not around until Silverstone. and look what happened. Look what happened. And we will get into that because it's not about me. It's not about Tandy. It's about our guest who also, everyone was asking. I'm getting people in my mentions asking, where's Tasha? Is Tasha okay? Where's Tasha? What's going on?
They started rumors.
Annie, are you okay? Like, what's going on?
Yeah,
they said we broke up like the Beatles.
Yeah. First a fat boy breakup. Now every day I wake up, somebody's saying something about Quick Stop. Don't worry about it.
Stick to what you know. Stick to the rivers and lakes that you're used to.
100%. But anyway, sorry, welcome to the show. None other than our favourite Nepo baby. She is the host of the Saturday show, which will make a triumphant return along with this podcast. It's Tasha James. Tasha, how you doing?
Yay! Woo! I'm doing great. Today, I'm doing great.
Yeah.
Prior to today, questionable. Today, I'm doing great.
It's crazy. Like, they call us a cult, yeah? And, like, sometimes I take umbrage at that. I'm like, you can't just call people a cult. We're more than that. But really and truly, you look at everyone in Team LH today, yeah, the way that we've all just risen, like our whole lives have been changed by the events of one man winning a motorsport race and the collective joy that has brought, which has then lifted all of us out of a state of what I can only describe as clinical depression in some of us, is insane. Are you crazy? I love this cult.
Wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
Don't want to be anywhere else. Would not want to be. Right. Let's get a look. Guys, thank you. If you're watching at home, thank you for watching. If this is your first time watching the Quick Stop F1 podcast, buckle up. It's going to be an incredible ride. This is the most outspoken Formula One podcast.
Where's that from?
What'd you say?
Harry Potter. No, I said it's going to be a bumpy ride. And I said, where's that from? Harry Potter. Go, continue.
Harry Potter.
Keep going.
No, that's fine. And But we are so happy to be here for you today. If you're watching on YouTube, give us a like and a subscribe. If you are listening on Spotify, give us a 5-star review. If you're on Apple, make sure to give us a review. That would help with the algorithm and so forth. And then we have the Patreon for an ad-free stream. Tandy, today is not a miraculous day. In the words of Alex James, don't call it a comeback. He's been here for years, although paraphrasing one LL Cool J. Lewis Hamilton has won the, bless you, British Grand Prix. I guess before we get into everything and the minutiae of it and the decisions that were taken or not taken, the drives that were driven or not driven, I guess just as a whole, sum up your feelings as Lewis Hamilton crossed the line today.
You know what? What was so mad is the whole weekend's just been this narrative of like British podium, when I British people on the podium. Nobody at any chance, the haters, no one at any chance thought to kind of say like, maybe we might get a Lewis win. Some of us had it in us. Some of us had it in the heart. And I know those who had it in their heart. So it's very funny that this narrative has changed and people have turned their cheeks and, you know, haters have come up and silenced. Pim, I've not heard a thing. The art of it all. Can you guys just take it in, breathe it in? How many days since a Lewis loss? 0. Amen. Amen.
He's unbeaten.
Hallelujah.
He's literally unbeaten today. That's crazy. That's my goat. I know my goat is.
Mad.
It's crazy because, you know, obviously I put out the tweet and I was like, oh, where's all the haters now? Where are you? You're normally so active. And, you know, it's crazy. Obviously, I've been off Twitter for a little while and I feel like maybe Twitter, like Elon's fixed the bots problem. It's very quiet over there. Like for some reason, there doesn't seem to be any back chat on the things we're saying about Lewis Hamilton today, which is the crazy. I wonder why. And it's because it was an emphatic victory, which was owed to skill, not luck or any other circumstances. Tasha, how long have you been watching F1?
Who knows?
Who knows?
Since the pandemic. 20-something. Who knows? I don't even know what day it is, honestly. So
like 5 years?
So I guess...
Yeah. Maybe like 5 years.
5 years now, yeah? So I guess since 2020, right? So I guess...
Yeah.
How does this rank for you, I guess, in your Lewis Hamilton supporting life? I guess, what were your feelings watching the race unfold, knowing that, okay, you know, this is probably the best chance he's going to have since, I guess, maybe Zandvoort. You know, there's been a couple of close shaves recently, but I guess how do you feel right now, and how are you feeling as the race progressed?
The race, it could not end fast enough for me. I remember the last 15 laps were absolutely like torture because it was like not that big of a margin between Lewis and Norris and then Norris and Verstappen. Like it was just so close. And all I could think of like, can this race just end? Like, can we just like fast forward to the finish line? So I was like extremely like focused on the race, but at the same time, I don't remember anything from it. Before we started the show today, I actually went back and rewatched last 15 laps. So I could like actually hear the commentary. Like I was just blacking out basically. Like I'm going to vomit. I can feel it in my throat. Like, so I don't know. For me, this is up there in terms of a race win just because it means so much. It's been 945 days since his last race win, which I can't even believe like that it's been that many days to begin with. That's kind of insane to me that we've been in the trenches for that long. But yeah, this is up there for me because it just means a lot. You can see like he's emotional. Lewis is emotional. Team's emotional. Bono's like about to break down in tears, you know? So it's just like, everybody's like emotional. So I think this is pretty high up there for me in terms of race wins for Lewis, because it's just very sentimental and very hard fought and not easy. So he definitely earned it today.
100%. I think earned it is definitely the one. You know, we're going into... If anyone wanted any idea of what encapsulated British summertime and what our climate is like during summer, I think all you have to do is watch today's race, because to have a race which started ostensibly in the dry but overcast, and then you have a patch of rain for 5 minutes, and then it goes dry again, and then it absolutely pelters it down for half an hour, and then it's dry again, and then you end the day and it's absolutely glorious. And I guess with 3 Brits on the grid in order of 1, 2, 3, George Russell getting that pole position, pipping Lewis to first, Lando Norris in third, and obviously Max Verstappen potentially with the broken floor issues. But we didn't know at the time of the start of the race how his pace would be affected once they fixed that. Of course, I guess 3 Brits would be used to these conditions, but I guess Tandy. Off the start, and I guess at the beginning of the race, and that period where Lewis was behind George, and then I guess once it did start raining, I guess did we start to see for you, I guess, that skill level that Lewis has when the rain starts coming down, and the skill that he has on the tires, and I guess how he went past Russell at first quite easily. And I guess was it at that point? I know you said you always believed that it was going to happen, but I guess was that like a point where you started to really think, wow, this race is turning in his favor?
Yeah, so I actually had a conversation with a friend Friday night, and my predictions were always going to be certain. And it's one thing is that Lewis does well whether it rains or not, right? But so does George, and so all of a sudden there's a narrative that Lando does really well during wets as well. However, I think there's more evidence to prove that Lewis is always going to do well in wet. So I was very confident in that. George doesn't seem to always keep it. Once he has the baton, he doesn't keep it going. Do you know what I mean? He gets the baton, but he runs away from the baton. He throws it to the side or whatever. Do you know what I mean? And so I genuinely did think, you know what? Even though, it's coming home, the geezers are here, it could have been 3 lines on the chest. I knew for one fact that amongst a bunch of kitty cats, there is only 1 lion. So there was always that reassurance anyway. I think seeing Lewis behind George, I was very confident that if he maintains the stability that he was at, he could actually move George out the way. It was really interesting for me seeing George having Max behind him and seeing how he does well with that. But I know it's a sad day to be a George Russell fan, but keep an eye on that sort of behavior and how he does in those sort of situations in comparison to people like Lando. I'm not gonna lie, my Lando narrative still maintains that he's really good, but obviously there's always one go. Do you know what I mean? There's always got to be one go. So yeah, that's how I felt anyway. I think it was always very interesting to see.
Yeah, it was an interesting period, wasn't it? We had that period where obviously George kind of goes off into the distance and they're all kind of waiting for the rain to come effectively. And we're looking at gaps of about 1.5 to 2 seconds between each driver as they kind of start to look to see when the rain is going to come. They need to keep their tires because they can't pit before the rain comes. So they're waiting to go straight onto the intermediates. But also they know that the first bunch of rain is not going to be the last bunch of rain. They kind of need to get these dries through the wet patch as well, which is something that I think, I think more than anyone, I think I've defended George on this podcast. And I think more than anyone, I think I've championed the things that he's good at. One thing George is not good at, and I think this has been something that has been pretty evident. I think if you look at a lot of George Russell's career, I guess there's 2 things. One, his tire management still isn't at a level that I would say is someone who I would trust in a condition where he had to make his tires go. And I think it's quite interesting hearing on the commentary I think even before the race, Lewis Hamilton said he had deliberately set his car up with more downforce. Why? So that it was kinder to his tyres, so that he could look after his tyres in changeable conditions, make soft tyres or medium tyres go longer than they need to. Whereas obviously George had gone for maybe more outright pace, hence why it was probably easier for him to put the lap in that he put in to get pole position. And look, it's a great lap. 1.7 ahead of your teammate is an incredible position to be in at your home Grand Prix, and he deserves all the praise for that. But I just think watching him kind of fall off a cliff once the rain hit, and that's the second thing with George, is that in changeable conditions, I don't think I trust him to bring home a result the same way that I do with Lewis. And look, why would I? George is a relatively younger driver, but I think we saw in that instance, in that first stint, the qualities that George has. He can put it on pole. He's great over one lap. In stable conditions, I think, in that first stint, he had it relatively under control until he didn't, until things changed and until his driving style needed to change. And he didn't change. And he got humbled pretty quickly, if we're going to be honest. I guess Tasha, as someone who's also a big fan of George, I'm joking. But am I right?
A Brussels sprout,
yeah. No. But I guess is what I'm saying making sense, and is that something that I guess that you agree with? In that first stint of the race.
Yeah, I think it makes perfect sense. I mean, this is what we've been talking about for a long time with George, and I think Lando also kind of fits in this group of drivers where it's like you mentioned, if everything's perfect, favorable conditions, they are fast. But when things start to change up, when they have to kind of think on the fly, that's where the cracks kind of start to show. George specifically is just very unkind on his tires, regardless of the race conditions. So, it's just hard seeing him constantly qualify higher, but then back up everybody in a race typically. You know what I mean? He's kind of like that cork in a bottle. He slows everybody down behind him. So it is, I think, his kind of Achilles heel. And I don't know what it will take for him to kind of improve this aspect of his driving. But yeah, I don't know. For me, I'm just that's why I'm kind of not worried about the head-to-head quality narrative that's being kind of brought forth every week, because I'm when it comes to the race, George is a lot of the times nowhere, in terms of his pace. So, and yeah, when a race requires some skill and some experience, I think that's why you have a Lewis Hamilton shining, because it's he knows what he needs to do in order to get points, let alone a win. Just keep the car on the track and get the points. So.
Facts. Don't piss me off. It's crazy. It's crazy because I just feel man, look, what's crazy is at the moment, I think we're looking at a situation where Mercedes have won 2 races in a row, if I'm not incorrect. And who would have thought that Mercedes would have won 2 races in a row? And I guess it's interesting looking at the 2 types of wins that they got. And I think, the win that happened last week with George, very much right place, right time. Verstappen's on his Taliban shit. Norris, his wheel-to-wheel racing, we can always come back to that at some point. But those 2, I'm sorry, Tandy, but I'm just saying, those 2 do what those 2 were going to do at some point in time, the way they were racing each other. And Russell's there to kind of collect victory. Almost similar to how he won in Brazil, to be honest. Verstappen and Hamilton mess about. He kind of is able to be in the right place at the right time, and he's able to, he does have to leave for a race and defend from Lewis, and, it is a great victory. But, almost opportunistic. Whereas, I guess, Tandy, you must be quite impressed with the after you.
So essentially, George Russell is like a sea urchin. He's there to clear up the mess once the sharks have come and done the scuffling. And if he's lucky, he might collect a win. Whereas today, he was amongst big sharks, big fish tank, and there was nothing left to collect apart from his DNF. You see what I mean?
Then look, well, you see, hold on, let me get the flex on that. Huh? That's called motherfucking bars. You podcast know nothing about that.
You podcast could never.
You said sea urchins. But it's true. And I think what I was going to say was, you know, I guess counter to that, you must be, I guess, where we've been quite critical of Mercedes in the past, today, it felt like Mercedes, and, you know, we've been critical of Mercedes, their strategy, you know, and how they've, you know, the strategy calls aren't good. The pit stops aren't good. Bono, you know, there's been criticism for Bono. You know, is there enough communication between him and Lewis? And, you know, is that been, you know, is that relationship something that, you know, why, you know, he hasn't pursued it, you know, trying to take his Ferrari? So I guess there must be like some praise, I guess, for or some impressiveness from your part for Mercedes, I guess, because this was a perfect race. It wasn't just Lewis and Inshallah today. It was genuinely like a team effort from the whole team to get this result for Lewis in the end.
I was even thinking, did you see the clip where he kind of runs towards the team and gives them a hug? Did nobody have a bit of shame? Nobody was kind of like, rah, like we actually could have put a bit more effort towards him. Like, I'd be really, really, really like shy. Like, oh, I'm so embarrassed. Like, he's really popular. Oh my God, everyone actually does really like him. Oh my God, I've really been treating him like shit. This is so embarrassing.
Right.
You guys not embarrassed? That's really embarrassing.
I did try and tee you up and then I was like, I probably went to the wrong person for that.
What happened? Wait, what?
Well, as in the Mercedes, like his mechanics and that.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess we've not been here for a while. Let's say we were about when the accusations of sabotage were going around.
Emails.
Right.
As someone who keeps her third eye open.
I bring you love. We're watching a lot of X-Files, by the way, guys. Crazy show.
I love X-Files.
X-Files. Go on.
The truth is out there.
How much credence did you give to that stuff? Did you see it? Did you?
The sabotage what? Sabotage what?
The
Saboteur. Oh my God. Sabotage what?
Love me.
My girl is a wordsmith, okay?
Sabotage what?
You ever see those clips on TikTok of like foreign people? Like, they'll be like in a foreign high street and there'll be like a pickpocket and they'll be like, attention, pickpocket!
Attention!
That is what I was like. If they were pointing fingers, I believe that you would sabotage my nigga. The only person that man could rely on, who I would say, do you know what? Like, you can break bread with him. Even like Lewis sipping drinks. Even the dog, bruh. Even the dog probably saw things, you know? Let's put a little camera on Roscoe. I'm telling you, some members of staff would be seen on Bono's secret camera, giving a little, you know?
All right.
A little. I'm telling you now. I don't trust none of them niggas. The only person you can trust is Bono, okay?
Yeah.
Bono is his Severus Snape. I know there's Harry Potter themes coming, but Bono is his Severus Snape. Not even Snape, even Sirius Black. Sirius Black is Bono.
Yeah.
The F1 gods sent Sirius Black, aka Bono, to look after Lewis so he can eventually kill.
Yeah.
Not kill. Not kill.
Abracadabra.
Abracadabra him. Abracadabra the Houston should not be named.
Right. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Definitely not kill. Okay.
We don't talk about killing.
Tandy.
No one should ever be killed. No one should die.
Should ever be killed.
A little Christiatis curse.
No.
Yeah.
But if they got a little.
But we got a little.
I'm joking. I'm playing. That was a joke.
Not kill.
Not kill.
Nobody should die.
Not kill.
Kill adjacent.
Yeah. Metaphorically.
Kill
not metaphysically.
Yeah.
Right.
But metaphorically.
Yeah.
Kill the idea, not the man.
Yeah, like kill. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah.
Tasha.
You know what it is, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, please, Tasha, talk. Go.
Yeah. Tasha, do you have any comments on Mercedes' strategy today?
I mean, I think they did a great job. I think that's all I can say. I mean, I feel like everybody was firing on all cylinders. Finally, it felt like for the first time that everything that could go right actually did go right. I mean, even like pitting at the right times, you know, seeing Lewis actually undercut Norris was a highlight of my day because I was just like, wow, we actually were on it. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not sure what else they could have done differently that would have given them a better race. I think this was the probably the most ideal day for Mercedes in a long time. So, yeah. Hats off to them.
I guess my counter to that is they could have been McLaren today.
Right.
And I think I saw Mahad. I can't remember what tweet it was. Let me just try and find it. But he mentioned something around like this team essentially not being ready for the bright lights. Here we go. This organization is not ready for the lights, he says. And then there's a follow-up tweet which says, Stella has got work to do if McLaren want to compete operationally with Red Bull and Mercedes. And I think, you know, for all the praise that McLaren got for their reaction to what, you know, what Max did last week and so forth, and their ascension into world championship battling status, there were some real fundamental errors that they made today. I mean, they could have double stacked Oscar and Lando in that first pit stop. They had the gap. I think Mercedes managed to double stack Lewis and George with a smaller gap between them than Lando and Oscar had in first and second. And, you know, potentially you're looking at a 1-2 that they could have had there. Oscar Piastri stayed out an extra lap. He's then gone from first to sixth. And I think, you know, Max Verstappen's had a 2-lap undercut on Oscar Piastri there.
Right.
Look, like I said, it's not the first time they've treated Oscar like the son they didn't really want. You ever seen Boys in the Hood?
Yeah.
You seen Boys in the Hood?
The one who didn't get to college. Yeah.
Oscar is Doughboy. And Trey is Norris. That's how Mercedes, that's how McLaren treat them two, bro. Doughboy, Oscar will be there with his friends. Should be like, get your ass off this couch.
Oh God.
Oh my God. So, but that's how they treat him. Like, look, this isn't the first time he's had bogus strategy calls which have affected him. They always seem to leave him out a lap too late, or they have to, you know, team orders to let Lando come by, and sometimes it's, you know, justified. Other times you'd think he's a bit harshly done by. So, you know, there's that strategy. And then obviously we have the strategy call which makes the whole freaking race. We're looking at, I've got some notes. Look, it's the first time I've actually had notes up.
Not even know.
So, lap 38. out of, 52. Verstappen comes in, and also Hamilton comes in. McLaren stay out. Norris stays out. He goes on, and look, that's fine. He didn't, whether he came in or not, the difference was, was marginal. The problem was the choice of tyres that they then go on to. Lewis Hamilton stops. He goes on to, I think, a pair of scrub soft tyres. Max Verstappen goes on to hard tyres. McLaren had a set of new medium tyres. But they're on the radio and they're asking him, look, Lando, what would you like from this is what I'm saying, they treat him like Trey. Lando, what would you like from the shops? Just go to the shops. Would you like some sauce?
Lando's one of them. He's one of them. He needs that. Lando's not the brightest bulb in the tanning salon. Like you can tell he kind of slow. So he needs that.
Yeah.
No,
you can tell he kind of slow. You can't tell me Lando Norris is sharp. Ain't nothing sharp about Lando. I'll even say it out loud.
No, look. Don't piss me off. He is a bimbo, okay? He might be good.
Lando's giving those kids, like, he'll give you, like, a Valentine's card in, like, year 4. You're really young, and it's like, oh, got it for you, though, innit? Look, he tried to spell your name right.
Yeah.
You don't
Yeah. Like, he'd be like, if he was my mate in, like, year 4, he'd give me, like, a Christmas card, and he'd be like, instead of Nyasha, he'd be one of them ones that spell it like GNASHER, like the dog from Dennis the Menace. Like, do you know what I mean?
I'd get mine saying like Tanya or something, and then you'd be like, Landon, her name's not Tanya, and he'd be like, oh, haha, and then continue to call you Tanya because he's slow.
Yeah. He is, and they're trying to. You see what they're trying to do? They're trying to build a team around him. But they're going about it the wrong way. They're asking what tyres he wants to be on. It's crazy that we're here again. McLaren versus Mercedes. Interchangeable weather conditions. Instead of just telling Lando Norris, this is the tyre we're putting you on, they're asking him what tyre he wants. They're fucking around with it. And they lose out to Lewis Hamilton. Tasha, I guess, thoughts on what went down with McLaren in that moment. Are you unimpressed? Are you not impressed? Whatever. And I guess, how much did it end up costing them in the end?
I mean, yeah, just the whole race cost them, really. I mean, just everything from Lando's decision-making or kind of lack thereof. Just, it just feels like as soon as stuff is on the line and they have to make these split decisions, it's like everybody panics. Like nobody suddenly wants to be the one to like say the thing that needs to be said. Like they ask Lando, do you want softs to cover Lewis or do you want mediums to cover Max? And like, why did he think he could get to the end of the race on softs like Lewis? Like, why? Do you know what I'm saying? Like you had a beautiful pair of medium tires that you could have done. Oscar took the mediums and was doing amazing on them. Like his times were incredible. So, just like that little bit of a decision-making really was the difference between, them being able to recover that race win. And so, yeah, I mean, for me, McLaren's interesting because it's like they have all the right components. They have fast pit stops. Like they've regularly set records for their pit stops. And then all of a sudden, when it really counts, we can't get a 1.9 pit stop. Now we're in the 3s. Like that's crazy. The decision-making is just not sharp on days like this. And it happened in the last race. You had Lando with the opportunity to overtake Max like 3 times. 3 times. You couldn't get around this man. And then suddenly now you guys collide and now both your races are over. So it's like from the drivers to the technical side, it just feels like they're like a little bit like in a daze sometimes. You know what I mean? And that fast car can only cover so much. And I think that's where we're at today.
You know what?
Yeah.
They should be embarrassed. Don't piss me off. How are you setting up? No, I'm sorry. How are you setting up my man? They're like, Lando, would you like the exact same strategy as 103, soon to be 104-time race winner, tyre whisperer, Lewis Hamilton? Do you want to do exactly the same as him? Do you reckon you can get a pair of soft tyres to go for 14 laps, even though they only meant to last 8, in the fucking interchangeable? Are you dumb? Like, why would you set him up like that? It's like when you tell your mate, it's like, sometimes your mate will be like, oh, that girl over there, like, she's really attractive. Like, I really fancy her. And like, instead of being like, you know what, bruv, unfortunately, I don't think you have that. You've not got the facilities.
She's out of your league.
Don't bother that woman. You gassed him up. Hey, bruv, yeah, that's you, fam. Hey, that's you. Hey, go chat to her. Hey, go chat to her. I'll wait here. I'll back you up. Go chat to her. Go chat. And what happens? She rejects him.
She pauses.
Makes him look stupid.
I've got a man thing, so
So, like, I just like, honestly,
no snap.
no snap. Oh, can I get your LinkedIn? Let's connect. We can connect. Let's build together.
Only the crazies go through LinkedIn. I promise you. Let's build. Let's connect.
McLaren,
too much, man.
You set your boy up for failure, and it was always going to happen. And all you had to do, bruv, the whole weekend you set it up. It's like you have a plan, you set it up. But this is the thing as well. We've seen it. When you are trying to beat Lewis Hamilton, we've seen how it can affect people. We've seen what it's done to Max and Red Bull and the way they operated in 2021. We've seen what it's done to Nico Rosberg. This guy had to change he had to lock himself in a box like David Blaine for a whole year just so we could get that title. This guy neglected his newborn child. Child probably thought he was the nanny when he came back from Abu Dhabi. Like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, respectfully. We've seen what happens to George. No, this is what I'm talking about. We've seen what happens. We've seen what happens to George when he's thinking about Lewis. What do I do with Lewis? What happens? He crashes out. He goes off. Whatever. Like, McLaren, again.
Can't hang.
Russia 2021. Had an opportunity for the win. They've bottled it. Today, you spent 3 days making sure you have a new pair of tires. Like, the whole week. You fucking built up to the point where all you have to do is spend 2 seconds putting 4 yellow tires on your orange car and you're going to win the race. And they still fuck it because they're, do you know what I mean?
Arrogant.
It's crazy. Anyway,
Hubris.
I find that
Mental
hilarious. Anyway, I just thought that was great. But what a victory for Lewis Hamilton. We'll probably come back to that when we do the stars and donkeys of the day. But I guess let's do some donkeys because there have been some incredibly poor performances on the grid, which need some kind of looking into. So I guess, Tasha, as our guest, who is your donkey of the day?
Yeah, I'm going to give mine to Sergio Perez. I don't know what's going on with that man. I need them to go ahead and trigger that performance clause because this is embarrassing.
Just put the donkey down, bro. Just put the donkey down.
You're done. Hang up the helmet. You're done.
Like, at this point, you're so done. Like, put the donkey down. Shoot one of his legs. Do something. Put it in reverse, Terry. Put that bitch in reverse, Terry. That's to me.
Hee-haw. You stupid motherfucker. Are you dumb?
Oh, man.
Sorry, Tasha, go ahead.
No, that was, you literally said it all, actually. Like, that was it. Like, put him out of his misery. I'm tired of watching him perform each week. There was a point in the race where I got confused because, like, when Lewis and the front runners are going to the back markers, and I was like, why is Perez there? I was like, oh, when did he get... I was like, this motherfucker's getting lapped?
Right.
Like, you're getting lapped? Like,
That's so embarrassing.
How embarrassing!
Bro, I was like, oh wow, that strategy where they put them onto the inners. Oh wow, that's really cool. I was like,
It worked. It really paid off.
Meanwhile,
bitch, what?
Oh wow, yeah, no, it's bad, isn't
Yeah,
it?
put him out of his misery.
Yeah.
You know
I'm
what's
sorry. I'm
mad?
done.
They tried to do like the Bottas thing. Do you remember when they kept doing like, they kept having like the carrot and the stick, essentially, carrot or the stick, and you know, they had this contract dangling in front of Bottas, and he was always like, oh, I'm nervous, my mental health, I can't, and then, you know, and then he'd get the contract and be like, oh, I'm fine. And then they're like, once he knew about his future, it became like a better driver. And they, you know, so they've done it for the last couple of years where they've had this future up in the air, and they've gone, okay, we're going to give you, for 2 years, you've got a seat for 2 years, Checo, have at it, perform as best as you can. And this guy's just gone, oh, I'm fine. I'm paid. I have to do fuck all. These have been some of the worst. Can we just, his teammate is leading the championship by 80 points. I think more now. I can't remember how many.
way more now.
That car is top of the Constructor Championship by like 70 points. This guy, I think, has scored 15 points in like 6 races or some shit.
That's fucking nuts.
Like,
Logan Sargent has out-qualified him in 7 races out of the 12 races.
Fuck.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Oh, gosh. That is gnarly. That is a gnarly career low.
okay, let me ask you a question then, guys.
Whose dick
I'll
is
ask
he
you
sucking?
both.
What does he have on somebody on the team? Like, whose dick is he sucking? I'm being so serious. Just let me know. Just let me know. Because things like that only come from dick sucking. Some serious dick sucking.
I mean,
whose dick are you sucking?
I was going to say, Helmut Marko looks to be in pretty good spirits.
Yeah, I mean,
never mind.
you know, Helmut's got a bit of a step to his Something's not right. That's this level of, you're telling me it's a world champion, yeah? Your team, you're being outlapped and you're still having your contract renewed. The day you even get your contract renewed, you didn't even turn up to the race, by the way. We missed out on that. I clocked it. Yeah. I got out of my depression hole to listen to that shit. That shit was crazy. So whose dick are you sucking? Because I'm just wondering.
Why is it so pronounced? Why
dick? Why are you enunciating?
Whose dick are you sucking?
I'm wondering.
So
for emphasis.
Teach me. I don't know.
Can't believe the audacity.
It's mad.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Time is slipping away from me.
2 seconds. Let me put these lights on.
He's got to know. He's got to know. I feel like
time is coming.
It's baffling. 1, it's baffling that he's got this contract. 2, it's even more baffling that his form has hit the toilet after signing the contract. I guess, Tasha, you're Red Bull. You've got one driver who you don't really want there, but is in there, but for some reason he's in there. You give him a 2-year contract, probably some performance clauses in there, but who knows? The driver that you would love to put in there is not beating the driver that you put in to beat him in the junior team. He's old, he's super marketable, he's got a great smile, but he's not very fast anymore. You can't really justify putting him in that seat over the guy that he's currently beating, but the guy he's currently beating, you literally never want him to drive for your team ever.
Right.
You've got a reserve driver who is quick, but you don't know how quick he is. And then if you feed him to the wolves, like you did with your other younger drivers, a la Albon and Gasly, then, you know, you're just going to end up burning out another driver, and that's not going to do anyone any good. Maybe he doesn't even do as well as Perez is doing right now, although you would argue he does. What is the solution to this issue? Because it feels like maybe Sergio knows no matter how bad he does, as long as Ricciardo continues to not beat Tsunoda, his seat is pretty much safe.
Don't you bring Tsunoda into this. Don't you dare.
I'm saying.
Don't you bring Yuki into this. Okay, go on. All right, cool.
No, but I'm saying.
Please.
Until no, but I'm like, I want Yuki to be able to go.
No, I hear it.
To Red Bull, but I don't think they want him. But because Yuki's beating Ricciardo can't go to Red Bull, because otherwise how do they justify that to everyone that they're putting Ricciardo in that car? So what is it? They can't have Carlos Sainz there because Jos Verstappen and Carlos Sainz Sr. fucking hate each other. Alonso signed on
the only solution is some serious dick sucking, because the only thing I can think of is the Guac Guac 3000. It's the only thing that would silence these people. These people were so loud at the start of they were so loud at the start of the freaking season. And now everything's just gone back to normal. Everyone's playing happy families. The only thing I can think of that keeps people that calm is the Guac Guac 3000.
Yeah, that's the only dance. I have everything. I have everything. I have all the pleasures in the world.
Anything that Sergio Perez is doing right now. Right. Tell me right now, anything that Sergio's doing right now for the team, anything that he has brought towards the team since 2023, January.
I'm not talking hands. Am I right?
Some of us have been in dungeons. We've been in the trenches for about 400 and something days. Almaze is alcohol free, so that shit's not even keeping you warm. We've been surviving on freaking Camila Cabello freaking features and fucking half smiles on the podcast. And you want me to believe that half-ass Sergio Perez, who's done fuck all apart from fucking smile and look drawable, is the person who we are now saying, no. Hell no.
Okay, well,
let's
keep an eye on that story. Doesn't keep you warm. Okay, we'll keep that's a developing story, okay? We will keep abreast and on top of that here at Quick Stop F1, and we will get to the bottom of that story, and we'll keep you updated as to just what is keeping Sergio Perez at Red Bull. Just want to say, if anyone from Red Bull is listening, that these are not the opinions of Quick Stop F1. These are the opinions of Tandy Sabanda, and they represent her and her alone. Any correspondence should be sent directly to Tandy. And Sergio, if you need that kind of communicated in Spanish for your team as well, we can do that as well. We can get that out.
Or in Guac Guac, I've got you.
So, Tandy, can I have your donkey of the day, please?
It's one young Jack Russell. Okay, fine. It's one young Jack Russell who thought he was running amongst the big dogs. And as per usual, just proved that he cannot run amongst the big dogs. He ain't the girl that he thought he was. He'll never be the girl that he thinks he is. And he needs to respect his elders. And that is George Russell. You know what? I'm a geezer. You guys know I'm a geezer. I love a bit of 3 lines on the chest. I love a bit of he's coming home. Yeah? I loved the idea of a 3 all British podium since what was it? The 60s, 90s, 80s. They were saying someday on Sky Sports. I wasn't listening. I love all that. I love the geezers coming together and being like, 3 lines on the chest, but it was never meant to be. Maybe because it was never meant to be, because we have an imposter amongst us. George Russell is not the guy that you guys think he is. It's really embarrassing time to be a George Russell fan, if I even say so myself. Come for me. I'm ready. I've not been on Twitter for a while. Trigger fingers turn to Twitter fingers real quick. I think George Russell, I think he's very insecure. I'm going to be very honest. I think he's very insecure, and I think his biggest insecurity is Lewis Hamilton. And Team LH are a big on him. And so the actions that he does are always against Team LH. And, you know, when you do clown shit, the clown comes back to bite all the time. And George Russell every time just proves that he's not got he's not got that dog in him. He's really not got it in him.
No.
I think from the get-go we were like,
so what's this in reference to specifically, like this race?
Today's performance.
Before he went out.
Before he went out.
Yeah.
But even before he went out, the chat amongst all of us was he can't maintain his tires. We already didn't have hope. Do you know what I mean? And so watching that DNF was the best thing that could have happened to him, because we would have seen a massacre out there. If George is really looking at it lightly, that's the best that could have happened for him, because
he was
the other options would have been
saved from himself.
He was saved, yeah. Because the other options could have been a Lando destroy or a Max Verstappen destroy. Do you know what I mean? Like it was the best that could have happened for him. And, you know, it wasn't meant to be. And good luck I keep thinking like good luck to whoever ends up being George's teammate, because I think Lewis has put up with a lot, has hidden a lot. And as it is, you know, George just ain't that guy, bro.
He's not that guy.
I agree.
Hey, pal. Hey, you're not that guy.
Hey, pal. You're not that guy.
You're not that guy.
Yeah, there's not a lot more to say on him.
No, I get it. No, I think you're right. I think. Look, we're talking about the sharp end of the grid now. You know, we're not talking about someone who is. We're not talking about someone who's, you know, he's won 2 races now. We're not talking about someone who, you know, we're not happy to be here anymore. We have a car that is capable of winning races. You're in a position to win races. And look, if he had managed to keep his tyres, if he had managed to keep it on the road, then he would have had priority at the pit stops when they had double stacked. And then maybe he would have been in a position to be able to take on Lando and, you know, and so forth and so forth. So it really all comes down to the fact that Lewis, in the first stint before pit stops, passed George on track, on pace, on skill. And the fact that he was able to do that really did open up the race for Lewis in a way that it kind of then diverged it into a different path for George. And, you know, we then saw him struggling and obviously, you know, he had the issue towards the end, but I don't think that was something that was affecting his performance. It was just something that they had to essentially retire him. Otherwise the engine would have gone. Oh, it's been a while. Right. My donkey of the day. Man, Charles Leclerc, Ferrari.
Charles Leclerc.
Not Charlie.
Charles Charles Leclerc. You know what I find hilarious is that, like, as bad as it like looked, you know, the one thing we were like, man, next year could be tough, was like qualifying. Because like Charles Leclerc had this like incredible 1-lap pace, and you know we've seen it even this season. Like he's put it on pole, and you know he's won a race, and he's always had that in him. But man, the thing is with Charles, when it's not going Charles's way, it's so spectacular. I guess speaking of donkeys, he's popular like Eeyore. Like one thing just goes into another. He's having a bad day. And then to compound it, we talk about the strategy that Mercedes had today and, the things that they were able to do. Ferrari, my God, if Austria was bad enough, we roll into this race. And this is just like fumble after fumble after fumble.
Yeah.
And I just think it's just sorry performance, And to be, again, like, for that guy to be the supposed leader of the team, for that team to supposedly be, we thought they turned a corner with these things, but I'm looking at it, I'm like, wow, like some of these calls were absolutely dog shit. I don't know, man. Today gave me the utmost, I guess, as much as I'm giving Charles donkey today, I've got the utmost confidence that Lewis is going to walk into that team. He's not even going to take his shoes off. It's going to be some Chappelle shit. Fuck your couch. This is my house. Chef, I'll have a fucking spaghetti carbonara vegan, please. Fred, bring me the strategy guy now. And he's gonna beckon him. He's just gonna put his finger and be like, you, come sit. This is what we're doing. That is Lewis's house. If today demonstrated anything, it's just why Ferrari signed Lewis Hamilton, and fucking ha to all the people who thought that Ferrari were making mistakes. This is a wash driver. Why do they need Lewis Hamilton when they've got Charles Leclerc? Well, quite clearly.
Come on now.
Quite clearly, you can see why they signed Lewis Hamilton today. Why they
didn't
can't
even do well in their fucking home track.
Wow, exactly. Why they can't trust in Charles Leclerc, and I just think
too passive.
The quicker he can get there, the better. I'm glad we had this moment today. I'm not going to lie. I'm glad we had that win. I'm glad we had that Mercedes win, and hopefully there's more. But that Ferrari win and him dragging that team, the same way he's dragged this Mercedes team, you have to remember where Mercedes fucking were. Where he's taking that team, the experiments on the car, the setups, the direction he's taking it. If he hadn't have done that, where would Mercedes be? It would be interesting to see the development direction when Lewis goes in there, depending on George Russell. And it'd be interesting to see where they go with Lewis. I guess, Tasha, thoughts on Ferrari?
Yeah, what the fuck? I mean, honestly, like for the past few races, it's just felt like they're regressing a little bit. And I mean, obviously, like to your point about Charles, like it doesn't help that he's very like passive. Like as a driver, like, yes, he's fast. You know, he has his moments where he's kind of like, you know, really great. But like overall, like to me, that's why I'm not worried about next year in terms of like anything, because he's a lot like George Russell as well, where, you know, yes, he's great at quali, but watch him in a race and, you know, red flags start kind of popping up. So, but, you know, Charles to me, like he's just very passive as a driver. And like, it definitely feels like while there's a lot of areas where Ferrari has improved and they're trying to like change the trajectory of the team, Charles kind of like doesn't really like, I don't know, fight that much. You know, Carlos Sainz is a good example of that on the team where obviously like, you know, if he needs to make a call, he does it. Obviously it doesn't always go over well with the team. It's not very like, you know, sportsman-like a lot of the times, but you know, he's trying to win races. So yeah, Charles to me is very much like, he needs to switch up his mentality as well when it comes to dealing with the team and getting his point across. But yeah, Ferrari, I don't want to say I'm worried for next year. I hope this is just like a little bumpy patch for the season because we're only 12 races in, but I'm just like, yeah, my antenna is raised. So yeah, that's what I'll say about Ferrari. Yeah.
Tandy, anything that you've got to say about Ferrari, please don't mention Dick.
Then Nothing at all.
Then no. No, I can't.
No, nothing at all about Ferrari. Yeah, nothing at all about Ferrari at all, to be honest. It's going to be a very interesting one. It's going to be very interesting next year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is, isn't it?
Let's go back to the part where we talk about Lewis. Yeah. These bums are bumming me out.
Am I right?
Smells like broken here. It smells broke.
Piss me off. I was going to say, okay, who was your... just for the record, Chris says his donkey of the day was Alpine. Obviously, 50th place grid penalty. Obviously, I think Gasly not even making it to the starting grid, darting off into the pits during the formation lap. And just general rubbishness. Not good for them. Okay, Tandy. Any more? Actually, you know what? Let's read the tweets. And then we can all end on what we need to. Yeah. Am I right? Let me put the, wow. This has got so many comments. Right, so here's the link, guys. It's in the chat. You guys should have it there, if I'm not mistaken. Is it in there? Yes, it
is. Yeah, you can now do separate chats on this. Crazy. Sorry.
Crazy. Okay, let me have a look. Oh, yeah, there's one person in particular. Right. I wanted to say Becca, who said, only just seen this. Oh my God. Hope I'm not too late. Star, Lewis. Incredible drive from the record-breaking GOAT. Donkey, Ferrari for Charles's Inters. Oh my God, that was so bad. Perez for being Perez. McLaren for whatever the hell that was, with Oscar's late pit and not putting Lando onto mediums. Absolutely awful. Does anyone have anything that they'd like to read out?
I'm looking at the Becca's tweet. Shout out Becca. It's her birthday next week, so happy birthday to her. She's literally the best. Becca. So she's put, only just seen this. Oh my God, I hope I'm not too late. You know,
Tandy, I've just read
that. Is Lewis.
I've just read that. I've literally just read that tweet. Fuck's sake.
Oh, that's what was going on in my ears. I'm so sorry. You didn't read it with charisma. You didn't read it with poise. Sorry. I'm sorry.
Do it again with some feeling.
So why did you just let me say Becca all this whole time? Like,
I
you okay?
You were like bigging her up. You're like, oh, I heard you say that. It's her birthday. Big her up. Here's my tweet, which has nothing to do with that.
I'm so sorry. My ears are just so sorry. All I can hear in my ear is Lewis Hamilton. Anyway, okay, let me go for Lennart LN. So Lennart Star is the GOAT. I presume that is obviously Lewis, Carl David Hamilton, James Lewis, Tanaka Hamilton. And the donkey is, I honestly didn't follow much aside from the lead because of obvious reasons, but Perez's race was obviously pretty hopeless. Highlight was pit stop strats, the GOAT and Russell both going off in T3 pushing, McLaren being OP in mixed conditions, and Piastri using the curbs. Justice for Piastri, I'm afraid. Justice for Piastri.
Justice.
Man.
Free my man. Bang man your doors.
My man.
Tasha, do you have fun?
Yes, I'm going to read Ella's at L44H. She says, Lewis and his ancestors are the superstars. Wow. What a comeback from Red Bull. I thought Max was washed and would queue with the plebes for weigh-in. Donkey is McLaren. Bonus to Logan for quali and his race today.
Big up Logan, you know.
Yeah.
Big
Big
up
up Logan.
Logan, for real, isn't it?
What even happened? I don't even know where anybody ended the race except for Lewis.
Those
like,
are people,
You know
Tasha.
what?
You and you should have a direct line to Logan because those are your peoples, the Americans. Sorry,
right.
so sorry.
How much? You know what? We'll talk offline.
All right.
What? I'm just happy.
Just happy. Just super,
I'm just happy.
super happy. Oh, it's back to me, isn't it? Oh, actually, yeah, this is a good one because I wanted to. Oh, guys, if you're locked, I can't read your tweet because clearly you don't want people to see your tweet. So thank you for joining in, but I'm not going to read it because obviously you don't want people to look at your accounts because, yeah. I'm going to read. Wait, hold on. Did you just read? Oh no, I'm scared. I don't. Which one did you? Blue Dahlia. Blue Dahlia.
It's
Did you? Is that different? Is that who you just read? No.
No, I just read L.
Okay, good.
L.
No, sorry, I forgot I was listening. So I'm sorry, it was too easy. Donkey. Ferrari pit wall for Charles, Checo for the whole race, kick for shitty cars. God, those cars are so bad. Stars, King of Silverstone, who else? Hulk got points again. Logan, P11, what? Yuki dunked Ricardo and Perez. I just watched my first LH win. I need to rewatch it. What the fuck happened that last 10 laps? I feel like a sentiment that you shared, Tasha, in terms of not knowing what was going on those last 10 laps. What happened? Tandy, do you have another one that we've not read out?
Yeah, I have a final one. Should I just close it with this one?
Yeah, sure.
So this is from Nilly Vanilli, and she's put her starters, obviously, Lewis Hamilton and her donkey, Sergio Perez. And then Nilly has said, the high am salon is like doing lines of the cleanest Coke. And that is where we will end this segment.
Yeah.
I love that for her.
Yeah. Great time for me to go sober.
I love Quick Stop listening.
Cool. Right. Thank you very much. Tasha, sum up how much today means to you, if you could.
Ooh. Actually, it is actually really meaningful to me. I feel like Lewis is such like an icon for like never giving up, and like we all kind of talked about, like the last few months have been wild. Like it's been really difficult to kind of like get through hard times. So to see somebody like Lewis win a race like this, which like we said was hard fought, it wasn't easy. There weren't any safety cars. There weren't any like DNFs that stopped it was just like a pure race. To see him like go through that. And so many times before this, he's had, a couple of glimpses. We've gotten close and it's just never, come to fruition. So now to like see him like cross the line, to be so emotional. Like Lewis, who like we never see him really emotional and cry, was like sobbing. His dad was there. He's crying. Bono's crying. Like, so for me, it's just like the emotion behind it is what really makes it meaningful and special. Because to me, it also says like, dude, hang in there. Like, it's going to suck. You're in the trenches, but you are going to have like your moment to shine. So that's what I would say. Like, it's very meaningful for like, from like a symbolic standpoint. Like, it's just one of those times where you see somebody like Lewis, who's a good guy, or he seems like a good guy, like actually like get his flowers. And especially after all of the freaking like hard times we've had over the past few years, like it's just nice to see that this happened for him, and to all the fans who like kind of stood behind him and never gave up, never like turned on him. In fact, I feel like we became like harder supporters of him. So yeah, for me, it is meaningful because I just feel like it actually, it feels like something. It's not just like another race win for Lewis. It's been a long time coming. So yeah.
No, that was beautiful. I'm going to give you a lovely cheering. Thank you. Tandy.
Yes, sir.
I'll bring it back over to you. I guess for you, sum up your feelings at the end of this episode, and I guess as the co-founder, co-host, as one of the leading women in motorsport punditry, and a leader in motorsport content creation. Yeah, you can have a little gun shot. Why not?
All right, I'll take it.
No, it's fine. Take it, get what you give it. So I guess for you, I guess sum up your feelings for today, and I guess there's a lot of people who are excited to hear what you have to say and how you're feeling. I feel a lot of people resonate with how you feel. So yeah, crazy. Have
jokes. I think jokes aside, there's very few drivers that can have a cinematic moment that we just witnessed today, and that will always be Lewis Hamilton. I think we have the small quests and the small ventures that happen, the small wins, the small hero films. Ollie Beerman, completes a race and then a few months later becomes the face of Haas, But nothing will ever summarize somebody coming from 400 and something days of not winning or whatever to this, to doing it in the weirdest summer that we've ever had as a British team, doing it after fighting allegations that his team were like sabotaging him just last week, doing it after like so many relationships within Mercedes have been broken down. Bono, we have the only trust we have in Bono. We don't have a lot of trust in Toto. We don't have a lot of trust in kind of the engineers. So it's been a lot on Lewis. And I think being Lewis Hamilton as well, we've always been Team LH. We've always seen Lewis have a smile. But I think the certain smile that we've been seeing recently has been kind of a brave face smile, look on the lighter side kind of smile, a kind of, oh yeah, I know this is going shit, but look, I can do a really good look on a runway, or look, I can do a really good look on a bottle of alcohol. Do you know what I mean? And then to kind of see this man cry, I was crying. I had tears in my eyes. And I think for us all seeing that struggle, that time, we all saw what happened. And I think what was the most bittersweet moment of it all is seeing that scene that we saw in Abu Dhabi where Lewis knelt down, he was defeated, his dad went over to him, and it was like the importance of fatherhood. And then that just be reflected again today in seeing his dad again go over to him and give him that big hug. Beautiful. That is just cinematic. You can't make a hero film that great. Even the scripts could not have been written by Netflix. There's something so special about that. And there's something so special about someone who has gone through all that and is still breaking records, is still freaking being so goated and still being so humble in what he does and still shaking so many people around the world. It's an amazing experience. And it's just reminded me how much I love this sport. And guys, a lot of people would have wondered what would have happened if Lewis hadn't won today. Would Quickstop have won? Really have come back? Well, we'll never know. We'll never know.
I guess we'll never know. Wow. Tandy. Wow. How do you follow that? That? That's incredible. Thank you so much, girls. That was ladies, no, never pressure. Look, I think for me, I never make notes. I think people are surprised, probably not surprised, that we don't make notes on this show. We don't have a plan. We don't have producers. We don't have like this, that, and the other. We just come on here and we just chat shit. And for some reason, you guys like it. But I felt compelled to write down the significance of this race in, I guess, numbers, right? What he's done today, I think, Tandy, you summed it up perfectly, was history making, and it's been done in a way. Who else was going to deliver on the day that F1 decided to give us the trailer for their movie? This scripted fantasy of an older driver in a team with a younger rookie coming back to try and give him guidance and whatever. And Lewis Hamilton at that track comes through. He is the first driver to win a race in 16 seasons. No one's ever done that. Some drivers don't even get to 16 seasons. Some drivers don't even get to 16 races in this competition. 16 seasons he's won a race in each of those seasons. I think only, the 2 seasons he's not won out of those 18 he's been in on the grid. He has now the record for the most wins at a single circuit, which stands at 9. Think of some of the victories that he's had at this circuit. 2008, one of the greatest wet weather performances you'll ever see. 2020, he's driving on 3 fucking tires and he wins the race. 2024, he's up against a 3-time world champion, the greatest driver apparently that we've ever seen, Lando Norris, who is, the young British pretender. They're putting him ahead of him now on all the promotional posters and stuff. They're saying he's more popular. That's the guy that's going to carry the British torch. And he outthinks them, he outdrives them, he outwits them into victory in changing conditions, similar to the way he won his 100th race. But this is his 104th race win. 104 race wins. And you know what? He even set another record today, because it was the biggest distance between someone's first win and their last win. It now stands at over 17 years. When Lewis Hamilton won in Canada and James Allen said, what can this guy achieve? 17 years ago, some of these people who listen to this podcast weren't even fucking born, bruv. Some of you guys weren't even born when he won his first race. And he's just won today.
You have children listening.
I think we do. I'm pretty sure we do. Do you know what? Do you want to hear like a bonkers stat? 11 years in a row on the podium at the same circuit.
Wow.
11 years in a row on the podium.
The king is Silverstone for real. My God.
Like, this is insane. And I guess for me, like, just a mix of what you're both saying, like that example of like overcoming adversity, of perseverance, of hard work and talent. People say luck is, like dedication meeting, I say like hard work meeting opportunity, right? Like, and cool, like he might have been lucky to be in some of the positions he was today. We know some people are saying McLaren threw it away and he inherited it, but he worked hard to be in that position. He worked hard constantly against all the odds to be there. And man, drink it in. Drink all of this in right now. This is not normal. As someone who's watched sports his entire life, this is not fucking normal, man. What this guy is doing is, like Tandy says, like out of this world, almost like a script. And I cannot wait to watch this race again. And I just feel very grateful. We get to share this with you guys, and that you guys want to hear what we have to say about it. Like, this is why we started the podcast, because me and Tandy, I would have been on Twitter shouting about this race, and then Tandy would be like the only one replying to me, and then the race would be done, and I'd have all these thoughts, and I'd have to go listen to a bunch of podcasts who would not do justice to the moment that we've
run by people who aren't even moisturized, people who don't even probably wash their legs. Sorry, we really did something here. Respectfully, if you don't wash your legs, that's cool. Like, that's your judgment, innit? Like, we're not judging you.
That's your journey.
That's your journey.
But we do. And that adds to the analysis, but we appreciate everyone who listens, whether you wash your legs or not. But thank you. And I hope what we've done today justice, and I hope that you've enjoyed what you've listened to, and that we've been able to encapsulate the feelings that you have, because honest to God, I just feel very privileged to be sat here with 2 incredible women talking about an incredible person and driver and sports person, and to have such an incredible audience. So as much as this round of applause is for Lewis, this is for Team LH, because today it was for us. Today was for us, man. We fucking deserve that shit. We're in the motherfucking trenches. Oh Oh my God.
Listen.
I told you, the
God's
trenches aren't even
strongest soldiers.
warm as well.
Listen.
They're not warm. Almave can keep you guys warm. It's not alcohol. It's
Let
not.
me tell you now.
Can't keep you warm.
Honestly, it's not. But thank you,
They had
guys.
Camilla Cabello in our house. Anyway.
We'll deal with that
Chris
later.
also says, first to win a race after going over the 300 starts mark. Like,
crazy.
Do you know what I mean? They said he was washed. Apparently.
Redemption
I can't
song
wait.
for real.
Allegedly.
You guys that listen to this podcast and watch this podcast, just to hate comment, please, I beg, say something today. Say something.
Man.
I've got
Where's
time tomorrow. You know
F1?
what?
Where you man at? Trust me.
Oh,
Where's that
please,
Mid-Stop
I
F1
beg you
page?
say something. Anyway, let's go
I'll unblock
because
you
we've
all.
got things to do. People to see, places to go. Tasha, thank you for being an amazing guest. Where can people find you?
Thank you for having me. Well, not Twitter these days, apparently. I guess on Twitter. Yeah. You can find me at Tasha on Twitter.
Thank you. Let's give you a round
Disappeared.
of
We were
applause.
like, gotta go.
And Tandy, any more?
Not all, mate. Absolute scenes, lad. Absolute
I think that's
scenes.
for the best. Yeah.
I think this was a great podcast episode.
I can't wait to listen back to this. My God. Thanks, guys. Thanks for being patient with us. Maybe I'll do a solo episode next week, and we can maybe pick apart some of the reasons why we weren't here, and so forth, and maybe answer some of the questions that you may have had in our absence. But also, I guess I just want to say thank you for all the kind words and encouragement. I know I'll try and get back to, there was so many messages, and I'll try and get back to everyone's messages. I guess just if I haven't replied, let me tell you now, it's not easy to tell 25 to 30 to 50 people quite why you're not at the races at the moment. So if I haven't replied, don't take it personally, but I do really appreciate it. And I just wanted to say that the reason that we weren't around was mostly my fault. And I just want to say thank you to my wonderful team for being such wonderful people whilst that was going on, and putting up with some of that. And I really appreciate you all as much as I appreciate everyone at home. And that's it. Fuck yes, we won today. Oh, what a perfect day. I'm going to go rewatch the race.
Back.
And remember, no matter what life throws at you,
we are so fucking back. Keep it on the lights.
Look, mate, if you've got this far, clearly you like what we do. So here's a link to subscribe to the Quickstop F1 family. Give that a click. And here's another link to some more cool on our channel. Sorry, cool stuff. And remember, no matter what happens, keep it on the black stuff. Click the stuff. Click the links. Click the links. Click the links. There. They're there.